Okay, have you ever seen a business just explode onto the scene and then poof, it's gone? But then there are others that seem to last forever. Well, today we're digging into the blueprint for building a business that's not just made to launch, but truly engineered to last. Let's jump right in.
So this is the big question, right? It feels huge, maybe even a little overwhelming. But the answer? It's actually not as complicated as you might think. And honestly, getting this part right from the very beginning, might just be the most important thing you do for your success.
I mean, this quote just absolutely nails it. Look, anyone can go out and get a logo made. That's the easy part. But building a real sustainable business, that's a whole different ballgame. It's about creating a solid foundation that can actually handle the pressure when things get real.
And here's the biggest trap I see people fall into. We've all seen it, right? The massive launch party, the big social media push, and then 6 months later, crickets. See, all that focus on the launch day often just covers up a really weak foundation. And that is the exact trap we're going to help you avoid.
So, what if there was a clearer way to do this? Well, there is. Today, we're going to walk through a really simple 3-phase framework. Think of it as your guide to building a business that is truly, genuinely built to last.
And here they are, the 3 pillars: analyze, strategize, and realize. Let's think about it like this. You wouldn't build a house without checking the ground you're building on, right? That's analyze. You definitely wouldn't start putting up walls without a blueprint. That's strategize. And you'd never see the finished house without the crew actually doing the work. That's realize. Simple.
All right, let's dive into phase 1, analyze. Now, this is maybe the most crucial stage, and it's also the one people skip the most. This is where you swap out your assumptions for actual facts, and trust me, it can save you a world of pain down the road. First things first, and you have to be brutally honest with yourself here. Who are you really building this for? And by the way, everyone is not an answer. You've got to get specific. What do they hope for? What are they afraid of? What are their daily frustrations? You know, think about a company like Airbnb. They didn't just target travelers. They zeroed in on people who wanted real local experiences, not just another cookie-cutter hotel room. So once you know who you're serving, the next logical question is, what are you actually doing for them? What is the specific problem you're solving? For those early Airbnb users, the problem wasn't just, I need a place to sleep. It was that feeling of being an outsider when you travel. A great business isn't just selling a product, it's offering a solution to a real human problem.
And let's be real, we live in a world full of choices, so why should anyone pick you? What makes your solution stand out from all the noise? For Airbnb, it wasn't just a cheaper room, it was the promise of belonging anywhere. That's different. That's powerful. If you can't answer this question in a single clear sentence, you're not ready to move on.
Just think about that for a second. Before you've even written a line of code or designed a single thing, you can already have a massive competitive advantage over everyone else. And that advantage, it's clarity. It is the most solid foundation you can possibly build. Okay, so with that clarity completely locked in, it is time for phase 2, strategize. This is where you build the armor for your business. You know, the legal and financial structures that are going to protect you while you grow. Now, I know this might look like a bunch of boring paperwork, but listen, these 4 steps are completely non-negotiable. Registering your company, say as an LLC, builds a legal wall between you and the business. So if the business gets sued, your personal stuff, your house, your car, is protected. Opening a separate business bank account, that makes that wall even stronger. It proves your business is its own thing, which is crucial for liability, and it makes you and your books about 1,000 times easier. And understanding your taxes from day one, well, that's the difference between a planned expense and a surprise bill from the IRS that could literally sink your entire operation. This isn't just red tape, it's smart business. Oh, and this is a really important distinction people miss. A business plan, that's a static document. You might write it once and then just stick it in a drawer. But a strategy, that's a living, breathing roadmap. It's your guide for navigating all the twists and turns that are inevitably going to come your way. And that brings us to the final, and let's be honest, the most exciting phase, realize. You've done the deep thinking, you've built the solid foundation. Now, it's time to actually bring this vision to life. The realize stage really boils down to the simple loop. You set clear, measurable goals, then you track your performance with actual data, no guessing, and then you use that data to figure out how to get better. It's this continuous cycle that really drives growth. But here's the thing. You can have the best business in the world, but it's totally useless if nobody knows it exists. In today's world, if you aren't visible, you just aren't credible. It's really that simple. So here's your basic digital storefront checklist. You've got to secure your domain name and get a professional email. That's a must. Build a simple, clean website. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be there. And please, make sure people can find you on Google and on the social platforms where your customers are actually spending their time. These are the basics, but they are absolutely essential.
See, when you follow this kind of framework, you're not just, throwing something at the wall and hoping it sticks. You are intentionally, thoughtfully building a business that is designed to last, right from day one. So if there's one thing to take with you, it's this mantra. Analyze to get clear, strategize to get strong, and realize to bring it all to life. That is how you build a business that actually endures.
And all of this brings us to the final, and I think the most important question of all. It's the one you need to be asking yourself whether you're just starting out or you're 10 years in. Is your foundation really built to last?